All right, guys, welcome. It is July 15th. We are here with Waifu Finance. I'm excited to talk with Gosu and the Wolf. Very, very excited to have you guys both here. I know you've been working on this project for a very long time, and I'm excited to talk about everything that the project entails and get some alpha if we can squeeze it out of you. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, Gosu, and then we'll get to the Wolf after you, my friend. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's perfect. Everyone, hi. My alias is Gosu. No, not from League of Legends, but the Gosu from Guns the Duel, a video game I used to play back when like 2003, 2004. But my name is Jace. I'm currently a software engineer at Amazon. So I do have to write the legal disclaimer that my opinions are my own. I do not speak for Amazon and its subsidiaries. So I have to, since this is recorded. Yeah, so I'm a software engineer at Amazon for about almost 2 years now. I used to work at Facebook and at Twitch. Prior to that, I was a paramedic firefighter and I was in the Marine Corps. And that's pretty much it. I've been being a software engineer since 2016 and quickly leveled up to big tech. That was always my dream, and here I am.
Nice, man. Cool. That's Amazon. That must be a cool job. I'm going to have to hit you up after this and ask you some insider questions. But the Wolf, the floor is yours.
Yeah, again, my alias is the Wolf, but my first name is August. I'm an investment banker at a company called iBankers Direct. I act as the head of the financial department for the Waifu project. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Is that why you're the Wolf, huh? You're the Wolf of Wall Street.
Well, his legit last name is Wolf.
Oh, I guess that works out on all things, huh? All right, cool. Right on, man. Cool, man. Well, then I got you guys' both background. Why don't you go ahead and introduce your project and what caused you to want to create your project? So let's start there.
Yeah, so I was in crypto since like 2010, back when Bitcoin was like under $100. And my first Bitcoin purchase was actually at a Starbucks. I met somebody up on Craigslist and I messaged them and I said, hey, I'll buy some Bitcoin from you. And I came with like cold hard cash from the bank and it felt very weird. I met them at a Starbucks out in Florida. And I like made sure that I went to my Bitcoin wallet back then, and then I gave them the cash. It felt very weird. It felt like I got just screwed over that I just purchased there. Fast forward 2014, I've accumulated some Bitcoins and I got rugged by around 3,500 Bitcoins. So for the longest, So I'm part of that settlement too. So hopefully that kicks in. So I hated crypto for the longest, but then some of my buddies started, like engineering buddies, like fast forward now, like 2019, 2020, I got a couple of friends that had purchased, very luxurious homes in Miami Beach and like they're living lavish. And I was like, what the hell is going on? So it turns out that, they started building crypto projects, some very notable famous crypto projects, one that actually filed for a Chapter 11, Celsius, and others like QuickNode and Rorschach, like you name it. So these guys been around for a hot minute. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, do you guys also invest? I wanted a slow step. And back around November, December, I looked around projects that just didn't make any sense.
Hey guys, CryptoSensei here. If you like what you're watching on this video, think about signing up for Cryptonairz. We've built out a 37-person team to work on Cryptonairz that provides every kind of info that you want to know. We have a great community of over 2,300 people that also help providing information. If you don't have 12 hours a day to commit to crypto research and knowledge, let us do most of the work for you. That's why we're here. We're one of the very few communities that have a full service security team. Every new project that wants to come work with us to do an AMA, we put them through a very strict process, and you can learn more about that in our community. We have people that understand smart contracts that can find, malicious code or errors. And so, often we're helping these teams kind of fix their projects before they launch. And so that really gives us the power to know which new projects are going to be solid and which ones might not be. And so we provide all of this information and all of this content to our community. We have some of the most amazing members and we have a really solid team. So if you're interested in maybe joining, come over to cryptonairz.com, sign up today. Look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Bars and and things like that. And majority of the projects, at least to me, didn't make any technical sense. So I said, might as well, let me research at least, like what's the steps now? Like things have changed since I had left crypto, twice, back in 2014 and in 2017 is the other time I had left it, because I did like a quick school on it. I did like a quick course on it in school. So I decided, hey, I was like, like smashing my head against the wall, trying to figure out like, what should I make? What should I do? How should I create actual value to the space? And then there was like this, I guess, alpha group called Cockflock. And they're like, you should make something about anime and waifus. And I was like, what the fuck? What does waifu mean? So I started researching it, and I was like, you know what? Like, that's a challenge, let me make a meme into a blue chip. So that's honestly the goal. And that's kind of why I started. And then I realized, a lot of these crypto projects back then, or some of them are trying to come out now, they don't have a financial advisor. They don't hire specific professionals in that specific field that have that experience. So that's why I brought in Wolf to kind of like, hey, he's done private IPOs, and I'm speaking for him, but I wanted to bring an expert in, and how to do the proper tokenomics. I just hired, but I hired also an economist of what makes sense, make the numbers make sense, having proper runway. So the challenge is to turn a meme into a blue chip. And that's honestly what's the motivating factor of this. And then also, like the anime space is huge. You go anywhere you go, and you'll see it. So that's kind of the rundown of the project. And yeah.
Nice, man.
Like the inception of it, right?
Cool. Wolf, did you want to add anything, my friend?
Yeah, no, I met Gosu at a mutual friend's house, and I found out that he was into investments and whatnot. So we, got to talking. Then we started playing around with this, idea in the beginning, and then it just kind of bloomed.
Hey, man, that's how things usually work. One thing leads to another, and next thing you know, you're creating a project together. So,
yeah,
right on, man. So, for the people that have no idea what waifu finance is, why don't you kind of give a rundown of, 'cause I know you're so much more than just a node project. Why don't you break it down exactly what you guys are trying to achieve with the project and how people, can participate?
For sure. So originally it started out of like, there was no usage for the token besides just like reinvesting it in the people's treasuries. It's just investing into other projects, and this creates this domino effect.
Yep.
I essentially wanted to create kind of like a commodity type of token where you can actually utilize it. And my experience with being in video at Twitch and Prime Video or whatever, I wanted to create what's called I call it a decentralized Twitch, or a decentralized streaming service. And if you go to Twitch right now, or you go to any streaming platform, you're able to buy bits, right, for like a penny. I think you can buy like 100 for 100, things like that. And then you utilize these tokens. However, there's a problem in the industry where a lot of streamers, they get screwed over on payment. They have specific contract deals that are not going through. It's just not as quote unquote intuitive, the payment processing part of the Twitch, or not Twitch, but of a streaming platform. So that kind of that was like our northern star, right? And then we trickled it down saying, okay, me being in software engineering, I know it doesn't happen overnight, and it takes a process. It's a very methodical process. So how can what's the biggest technical depth that we would carry versus what's not? So that's how I started like moving things around. So I said, let's make the payment process more intuitive, which is building a token, crypto token that people can utilize. That's a special token. When you tip with the waifu token to a streamer, like a special thing happens or whatever with the content creator on the other end. And it's just not just for a waifu token. You can have other tokens as well to tip, to send bits or whatever to the streamer. But a waifu token will be the main source of that. So then, I wanted to gamify it a little bit. Back then I knew reading into a lot of these projects that claim nodes, there was just an RPC endpoint. I mean, sure, might process your transaction faster, but it was actually a play on words, because before we were called like waifu nodes, it was a play on words for waifu nudes. It was very explicit. It was very explicit, and I got a lot of feedback from, not just from you, but several community members and several people we've been partnered up with that, bro, I know your team can do it. You have a the NFL team with you, but it's not marketable. If a content creator, like you say you're about content creators, right? So if, for example, you, right, Sensei, like if you post this and it's extremely lewd, you might get taken down. So I had to start kind of toning it down and really start thinking about how can I make this more marketable to the masses?
Yeah.
So we've toned it down a lot, but that's pretty much what Waifu is. We have thought out through and through our technology of what we wanted to produce. We scoped it out, similar practices of what we use in professional industry, of like, okay, this is our Northern Star, and then working from the customer backwards, right? So we have different avenues of where you can utilize the token. We have a metaverse that's actually already out that people can go in, and we're building it just like gamified a little bit. Then we're going to add the blockchain aspect to it, where you can spend tokens. It's actually this sprint we're actually doing that. So that's essentially it. Like our Northern Star is a decentralized Twitch with a little bit added bonuses, like our quote unquote metaverse for the buzzword. But that's more like a playground. Waifu is also a tech house. We've had several deals with several customers of ours to help them build their platforms, or help them build their metaverse, or help them build for tech they would want. So we are a software company in essence, with a little fun twist to it.
Nice, man. Like, how do you find time in the day to do all this, man? You got a lot of stuff going on.
You compartmentalize, and you can sort of say that with the help of my military background, like I put things into units, right? I compartmentalize it, and I put one in charge there, and I make sure, high level overview, like a regular software engineering manager would do, or like a principal engineer, that different departments do different things. I jump around a lot in the sense of like, okay, hey, how's the front end working? Cool. All right, cool. Here are all the bugs. I do a high level overview. If I have to get my hands dirty, I do. Then I go over the back end. I go over the smart contracts, different projects that I do. So I guess you can say that the way I have it structured is very militaristic.
No, hey, that's good, man. You kind of need that, building something like this, man, because there's a lot of moving parts. How big's the team looking? I mean, it's you, Mr. Wolf, and I mean, because you guys are building so much stuff, right? How many are on the team?
So right now, engineer-wise, we have about nine engineers. We're all friends. This isn't like we hired some random dude. All of us have tenured experiences at like Google, Facebook, Shopify, like you name it. And, we have the luxury of adding more, but I don't want to get too big to fail.
Yeah.
So I make sure that, hey, I'm very upfront with everybody. Like, hey, if you're going to commit to this, this is what's going to be, this is how it's going to be, et cetera. So they either say yay or nay. And I think we're up to 9 engineers. We have 2 marketing directors, which have been personal close friends of mine that own nightclubs. And they own nightclubs. They've done marketing for Fortune 500 companies, like digital marketing, which we have a budget set aside just for that.
Yeah.
Once we hit the ground running, everything mainly has just been me going around and just talking shit or picking a fight. So controversy, right? It works. And I think what drew people to us, talking about that, is just the fact that we're very upfront and honest about things, right? Like, I'm not gonna I don't want to drop any names or anything like that, but I'm not like other protocols where they just come out of the left field and just start taxing the shit out of you. It's just trying to sustain, right? So I think everything's up front. That's why I put a lot of thought process into this, because I could have launched this shit months ago. It's just like I put my name out there. Our reputations are on the line, so I have a lot more to lose, and
You want to do it right. No, I got that, because I know originally weren't you going for like a node protocol too? Wasn't it like waifu nodes or something like that back when? Have you guys transitioned out of that? Are there going to be nodes, or are you more focused on this kind of like streams kind of sharing type thing? Walk us through kind of what the protocol is.
So early adopters will get the benefit of creating NFTs that yield. So we changed our tokenomics to kind of mirror more of Audius and Gala games, where you mint a node. There will be a VPS, a virtual private server, for you to like check out your nodes. And we are I guess you wanted me to drop some alpha, but we are partnered with QuickNode, the founder of QuickNode.com. And like everything he does, he just acquired a bunch of companies. I've known him for a long time. We've used to, just kind of like a little bragging point here, but we used to teach a coding boot camp out in Miami, and he actually wanted me to join QuickNode, but at the time I was just so fixated on getting into big tech, kind of missed the boat on that one. but yeah, no. And so we are talking on how we can actually make this legitimate, where the transactions that someone does, will be actually faster, a measurable metric that people can look at. Like, oh shit, if I would have used a regular RPC endpoint, if I would have done this, like, measurable metrics of like having the node. Eventually we're going to move over to these nodes to be decentralized storage for content for the streaming platform, just similar to what Gala Music and all these people are doing, like a streaming node, a content node, and just make sure, like Filecoin, right? Like a decentralized server that if you host one, you get rewarded, etc. So, I mean, that's in the build. It's not something that we're going to have as an MVP, but it's in our internal roadmap to have that.
Got you. So on launch, right? So what are people going to be doing, and how can people participate on launch day? Are they going to be buying the waifu token to create these nodes that are going to power everything, or is that something further down the line? Walk us through kind of on opening day what people can expect and what people should be looking for.
So our founding participants, right, like Pumpa Dumpa is here and a few others, kind of like helped seed the start of this, will be rewarded the most. We're first launching, we're releasing, I have to be careful how I freaking say this.
You're all good. Take your time, man. Take your time.
Revenue sharing NFTs.
Okay.
The revenue sharing NFTs will be handed out to all the ones that pre-purchase them. On top of that, we're launching the seed tokens as well. So each founding member, because of the way the market was, we're going to do like a decaying bonus. Everybody will receive 5,000 tokens, which equates to like 330,000 tokens given to them. They will be able to later start noding up, or you can start purchasing nodes. We're going to launch the perk NFTs. So there's 5 different collections of the NFTs, which is sell limit increase, tax reduction NFTs, token wallet increase, emissions boost, and an all-in-one. So they're going to be able to utilize those tokens early on.
Okay.
And we are actually being partnered up with iGaming. It's like a casino online poker gambling thing that they have going on, where people people that have seed tokens and pre-sale tokens. This is before our ICO, right?
Yeah.
We'll be able to utilize our tokens there, and if they want to mess around in that strategic partnership we're trying to build, that's formulating. It is something concrete in the sense that we have something down on paper. We're just formalizing the details of technicalities of how things are going to be utilized now. So that's another alpha thing there. And then once we actually have, I know it sounds cliche to say it and I hate it, but we have a DEX as well, decentralized exchange, and we are building a centralized exchange as well. Yeah, and but it won't be on launch day yet. So centralized exchange is like MTL licenses and things like that. It's just way to get all approved through all the entire United States and Canada. It's about like $5 million. So it's quite a lot. But yeah, we'll have our decentralized exchange where people can cash out and swap and bridge. And one of the questions I ask a lot of people before you ask this, Sensei, is why an exchange?
Yeah.
Well, what's our value proposition? It's mainly for the ease of use for our streamers to cash out. I don't want our streamers and our content creators on our platform to having to go and trying to educate them. You can go to PancakeSwap, you can go to this and Uniswap and this and Bridge over here. I just wanted to make it an all-in-one place for our streamers to cash in and cash out.
Got you. So they don't have to go off the platform. No, I like that, man. So the centralized exchange that you guys are going to build, is that going to house, all chains, or what are you guys going to focus on mainly?
Yeah, so screw it. I mean, one of the things that I think there's a misconception is that a lot of people just I'm going to build DEX. You need a shitload of money and a lot of pools, right? So under the hood, we are routing it to PancakeSwap.
Mm-hmm.
So under the hood is PancakeSwap. The only token which is something that I have to discuss with the team as well, is are we going to launch it in a decentralized exchange already and just have a wrapper interface and that's it, so people can easily use ours? Or should we launch our native token in PancakeSwap, or should we just have it within our own? It really depends. I don't have the full answer. I want to go more for something that we can have, because essentially we want to build up to that level of having 10-15 million dollars in liquidity for our decentralized exchange. But yeah, so again, I'm not delusional where I'm I'm gonna raise $10 million off the rip to launch our exchange. It's just, honestly, it's
hard
stupid
right now in this market too, especially. I
yeah.
mean, I've ran into a 2 or 3 projects in the last couple of weeks. They're yeah, we're gonna raise $10 million, and they fall very, very short. So it's good that you don't have your expectations too crazy, and especially in this market right now, it's hard. But walk me, sorry, I just want to back up a little bit. So these NFTs, you got 5 different versions of the NFTs. What is the cost going to be on the NFTs? Are they going to differ from each to each, or are they all going to have a similar cost?
They're all going to have a similar cost.
Okay.
Pre-sale is $250, public is $500.
Okay.
And again, part of this, I think it's also based on my prior experiences. I like working in teams, paramedic, military. So I hire the experts, right? In a team of a firing squad, you usually have a weapons expert, you have medical, you have team lead, you have a machine gunner, you have a rifleman, you have comms, right? So I don't like to pretend that I'm one size fits all. So I hired NFT consultants, people that have launched NFT projects, very successful NFT projects, and sold out in the NFT space. So they're going to come in and kind of group that together and help us as advisors or whatever to come in and sell out these NFTs. So, because I know we're discussing anywhere between 5,000 per collection or 10,000 per collection, and the money from that is actually going to feed back into the liquidity, the treasury company, and our revenue partners are going to benefit from that. And from our forecast projections, each revenue shareholder is 0.1%. They're looking at around 25 to 30,000 already in ROIs just from the NFT sales. So I think that's
damn.
But yeah. So each collection. Sorry, what?
No. So you're gonna use basically the money from that, because I mean, if you take 250, 5,000, what is it, 1.25 million, 5 collections, you're looking at what, 6.5 million or something like that you guys are gonna raise. Is that gonna be is that gonna help with the DEX? Is that where you're trying to raise the money for?
No. The money is more for some of it will go to that as well.
Yeah.
We're just dispersing it across, and more for research and development and funding the decentralized Twitch platform that we want to build. There's a lot of top talent that I'm bringing in that obviously if you're trying to hire any engineer, hate to toot my own horn, but for me, I'm not interested in equity and just cash up front. So
yeah, pay me, right?
And I think it's less expensive that way too. But yeah, some of these perk NFTs, they're all going to be the same, except for the all-in-one. I've been advised to make that a little bit more expensive, obviously, because it has all the perks. It just doesn't people are just going to wait for the all-in-one NFT.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right, and so I mean, man, there's so much here. You know, a lot of people just think, you know, you guys were going to launch a node project, but I mean, it's quite different, right? You guys have kind of morphed this thing into something completely different. You know, building this, is everything already done? The contracts, everything done? Have you guys audited? Or I mean, I know you're very skilled in what you do. Have you had, you know, second, third eyes look at it? Have you guys, you know, any issues so far in the build?
Oh, so I mean, anyone that's been in software engineering knows this. Like, dude, I've seen people that have been in the game since the programming language C came out ask me to review their code. So whoever doesn't want their code reviewed is a fucking jackass. But yes, our code is pretty much, you know, it's done. We are getting it audited through Certic, which is a freaking shiny penny for that one. And every move. So here's the other thing, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, are you going to multi-sig and things like that? Like, you can ask any of our partners and any of our community members, like, before I make a move, before money is moved, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just like scarred with the military, but I'm more of like, hey, what are my next orders? Should we do this? And they're like, we cast a vote internally, and they're like, yeah, do it. So with Certic, it was I didn't want to do it. I would have much rather gone for like HackerOne or something more reputable, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That have like actual bug bounties that they've won, you know? But Certic they've been building. They're actually an SF company. They're out in New York now. So I've audited them first before I was like, because here's the thing, like, I don't want to launch unless like all our, you know, everything's covered.
Yeah.
And that's just not just because of anything. I mean, fuck, like, you imagine, like, look at all these different protocols that got flash loan hacked or anything like that. And then, like, it's not even the sense of like, are there any loopholes that the founder and core team can like rug us? No, I think that's the top of mind. But I think what people need to really be concerned for is like, am I susceptible to a hack? Right? Things like that is what I'm more concerned. But yeah, we do have audits already in place. I think by the end of next week, we're done with the audit, and like any changes that we might need to make, just in case they find any vulnerabilities or anything that like, hey, this is outdated, make this better. So I'm very big on testing and code reviews and audits. And I mean, you know this too, right? Like, you have your specialty team too. Once I have that completed, we're going to actually send that to you guys as promised. And you guys have a good team too, right? So I want to make sure, like, who the hell's looking at our code, right? So, and the reason why is because if you guys say it, not you guys, but like if anybody that we give our contracts to and they say, yeah, it's okay, but they know that there's a vulnerability that I might not know of, right? It's always good to get a second opinion. So that's why I think once we're done with Certic, I'm handing that over to you guys too.
Yeah, and we'll we'll go through it line by line, and we'll run it through our proprietary software that we had built to make sure, you know, we'll do our extra due diligence to help you out and make sure that everything's good. You know, walk us through like the tokenomics of the project, right? Like how many tokens are we starting with? What is there team tokens? Walk us through like the taxes, if there is any. You know, walk us through some of that stuff so we can clear up that.
Okay, so roughly we'll have about 10 million token supply, but this is over time, right?
Okay.
50% of that will be the rewards pool, or what the quote unquote nodes will emit.
Yep.
At worst case scenario, if all the nodes get the boost emissions, we're looking at about 647 tokens minted a year, or like given to node holders a year. This is the worst case scenario, which puts us at an 8-year runway.
Yeah.
We have 30% of that will be for the liquidity. Mm-hmm. We're going to initially have like 1.5 mil, which is based off all the seed and pre-sale token sales that we'll have. And not to mention, so those 1.5 mil will be pre-sale, which would feed into our liquidity pool. Then also, you know, from the seed funding, 50% of the seed funding, which is another around 500,000, will be for the liquidity. So we're roughly looking at close to like 1.3 million already for liquidity for our token, which is very high. 10%, so 1 million tokens will be added to the exchange. Again, it's still in debate whether we want to do it more in-house or we do an ICO with PancakeSwap. However, we do want to do like slow releases with liquidity.
Yeah.
It's with our token and liquidity. The big topic now is everybody's talking about the HORDE, which is actually something we've had, and I've been like trolling around with it. But we do plan on stabilizing it for the first like 3 or 4 months, just so people that enter later don't feel like they missed the boat and they see like this giant green candle just skyrocketing and they're like, well, fuck that, I'm not going in. It also, so some of the things I've been debating about is like, it doesn't really make sense to have such a volatile token if I'm planning on having people purchase tokens to tip to streamers. Imagine the token being $100 worth, and like, it just doesn't, like, fractionalizing that is the only way that makes sense. Like, once we cross that bridge, we'll get there. But for now, that's essentially what we're planning on doing. 10%, we're considering it for the company wallet, and that's just for like internal operations, like community managers, partnerships, and things like that. So it kind of behaves like a treasury too. I do want to state that, we're not, I want to take a step back. No, actually, I'll say that later. But yeah, so that's just pretty much for that. Now that I stated, I did wanted to mention that the purpose of having Wolf too, I forgot to mention this, is that once, like I was talking to someone on the audience, like the majority of people just want to come in, make their money, ROI, and cash the fuck out, right? Like, let's just be real. The purpose of having Wolf was to kind of build this financial bridge from going to crypto over to like the real market, right? So like, hey, great, you've 10x your money in crypto. Now you want something that's actually like more stable, more kind of safe. Well, Wolf is a sector, part of Waifu, that can talk about pre-IPOs. Like, he recently pitched SpaceX pre-IPOs in our Discord and other opportunities like that. So people can cash out and say, hey, what do I want to do? Part of our treasury and like, I guess like the company's finances will go, I think like a small, like what we said, like 10% of that will go into real world assets, just so the company has assets.
Yeah.
And we are a registered corporation in Delaware, by the way. So
okay.
Yeah, I hate the word project. It's more of a company. But
Gotcha.
Yeah, Wolf, you want to talk more about that side of the sector? Is he there?
Wolf,
Hey,
what's up, man? Don't fall asleep, brother. It's your turn to talk.
Yeah. No, so the firm I work for, it's a private investment bank. We do a multitude of private equity deals. You got the IPOs, pre-IPOs, SPACs specifically. And right now I'm acting as the financial department for Waifu, like Gosu said. And what I do is I'll tailor to those who've made their money in crypto market and looking to get out and look for other investments. I believe that diversification should be the main goal of any portfolio out there.
Yeah.
Concentration's not. That's not a good road to go down. And in this market too, it looks like it's never coming back. But I mean, in regards to stock, what I'd say to you is historically, equity markets fall about 28% on average in periods of shallow downturns. And right now, you have the S&P already down 20%. So we may be closer to the bottom line in equities than you think, but that really creates tremendous buying opportunities in quality companies. If you look at certain companies, Square has come down from 289 to 66. Roku's come down from 490 to 85. DocuSign 314 to 63. And those are just a couple examples, and also too, when you move into private equity deals, not exactly stock and whatnot, you don't get as much drastic movement in your portfolio. You may have some movement, but it's nowhere as extreme as equities. And, so you may be the waiting time on average for an IPO to work out is about 12 to 24 months. And so what I'll be teaching in my TA sessions, we're going to be doing some technical analysis for a period of sessions. I'm not sure exactly how many sessions we're going to focus on that, but that's what we're going to start out with. And also we will focus as well on IPOs, how to invest in IPOs, and also how to trade stock, how to enter, how to exit, just basic things that you not to say that you don't know about it, but obviously there are things that you can sharpen your tools to get better returns. Yeah, so we're gonna be doing a lot of that I believe it's when we launch the token and the NFTs are purchased, the open class for everybody, and when we launch the token, and I believe if you purchase an NFT, you are then viable to come into my classroom and learn,
Oh, that's cool.
What's that?
That's cool. It's pretty unusual, and I don't think I've ever heard a project kind of doing something similar to this as you guys are doing. So I like it, educating the public and doing different things like that in the stocks. So you guys are basically going to be taking 10%, investing into the stock market and different avenues of revenue that way, right?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So pretty much opening up a corporate account. And
Got it.
Like a lot of the red tape that we need to go through.
Yeah.
But yeah, that essentially that. So it's like a full 360 type of thing. And I felt like a lot of projects, like you said, were lacking that department of like, dude, like, there's a lot of protocols out there that just invent a bunch of shit. And you're just like, when the fuck am I going to exit?
Yep.
So that's why I'm building the centralized exchange, the exchange, so people can easily come in, do what they want to do, get their ROI, cash out. And if now you're in the real world, do you want to do stocks, private IPOs, et cetera? That's an option for you, or you just cash out completely. I think that's a better user journey of what Waifu is. Just on the protocol side, we later on have different entertainments, right? Leisure, or with our Waifu verse, we build out, which we already built out, by the way. I posted the link there where people can actually go run around and kind of get the feel that you're eventually going to be able to purchase with Waifu tokens or whatever, different teas. Like, for example, like you can actually mint right now an NFT, and you can actually have a character that represents that. The only way to access that character in the metaverse is through that NFT. So they're kind of like one-on-one pairing, just as a beta. So we'll have like weapons, different outfits, different pets that you can ride, different machineries and things like that. So that's just kind of building the stub out, diversifying the token. But essentially the core essence of what we'll have as a protocol, and like if someone doesn't care about decentralized Twitch or anything else, we give them that option of just, hey, while the machine outside is working, you can just be a small investor into the protocol, and you can make your money that way back or whatever for believing in us.
There's so much here, man. Are you guys going to be so the money that you're investing, right, in let's say the regular stock market or whatever it is, are you going to be bringing any of the profits back in to buy up Waifu tokens and burn them? Or I mean, how is that going to help the project? I mean, it's going to keep the project stable, but how is it going to help out the investors who hold the Waifu token?
Right. Oh shit, I forgot. So you did mention that, and I completely skipped over it.
You're all good.
Sorry. Yeah. So we do have sell and transfer tax, and okay, we have 25%. So with the perk NFT of a tax deduction, you can bring that down to 0, which is up to 25% deduction. So, or like the whole 25 of the sale transfer tax. Then we also have burn mechanisms. Mm-hmm. Or, it didn't make sense to kind of bring it back into the rewards pool. So we look here at the distribution model on slide 28. 30% of that will go to the reclaim burn wallet. So the reclaim is once the nodes have maxed out their emissions, we're allowing people to exit out of the node. So you can burn the shit out of it and make 30% back of your original cost.
Oh, that's dope.
Which is why, every time we'll have, instead of like the 30% completely burned, we're putting it into a reclaimed wallet. So just in case, worst case scenario, everybody decides to burn their wallets, we have that to back it up instead of increasing our total supply. So that's one mechanism that we already have in code already. It's audited and it's cleared.
Okay.
Yeah, so anything after, once we've done, which is about 936,000 tokens from the 20,000 nodes that we'll have, that's the max that people can claim. Anything after that is going to be completely burned. So, and well, quote unquote, sent to a null address where nobody really has control of it, because you can't actually destroy anything in the blockchain. So yeah, 30% of it will go to treasury, 20% will go to liquidity. Again, liquidity is kind of like all tokens besides Waifu will be liquidated to BUSD, and we will manage the Waifu tokens, when to buy and when to sell, which is kind of like how the factor of like stabilizing the token mechanism works. So yeah, and then a company wallet, obviously, like I'm not going to sit here and bullshit everybody and be like, no, I'm doing this for charity. Like, no, like we want to get paid, you know, like I'm not losing time with my kids and like, you know, we're not doing this for charity. And 10% of all revenues generated will go to our revenue partners. So they are our partners. They get 10% of everything, just like if they were the company.
What's an example of a revenue partner? Are these people that, you know, are these people that you're raising money before, or are these partners that you haven't made yet? Who are these partners?
So if you start off on slide 37, I don't know if people can see that doc. So our goal was to raise $1 million. And so roughly around, I treated this like a regular tech startup. So $500,000 was actually our initial raise, but then we wanted $500,000 for liquidity.
Got it.
So we're splitting it right in half. So our partners, to barrier to entry is 10,000, which is a 0.1% of the entire revenue distribution. Capacity, we only have 100 positions available. They get early entry, which is the token price at 50 cents. Each partner that we have capped right now gets 500,000, not the full 100, just the early people that came in. They'll be locked in for 90 days just to prevent dumping.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants to know, hey, what's your exit strategy? They can sell it in the NFT marketplace. So if they want to, like saying, hey, I want to exit out of Waifu, they can post it up on the NFT marketplace and they can have someone else buy it and they start generating those profits. And 90-day lockup, how to invest. So we already sold out 67 positions or 67 NFTs. The other ones I'm making it more strategic, you know, strategic partnerships and things like that. Because here's the thing, like our community of revenue partners, I mean, our community in general, is that we're a really tight community. Our conversations that we have, and I guess in our main chat, is more authentic than what I've seen, like instead of good morning, good night. And we have genuine conversations, you know, like, and we all kind of like know each other, you know. I want to congratulate Code Brief for passing her exam, you know, like that. I know that, you know, like I know, you know, Punish Sperm too passed his CompTIA thing. And those are the conversations we have in our community. And that's the type of community that we build with revenue partners as well, where everybody brings something to the table and they want to contribute as members of the protocol. But yeah, we sold out 67. There's still a few left. 33. Yeah. And yeah, they take part ownership of like pretty much everything that we make. So just like the free mint NFTs that I have for our whitelist, we're actually converting our whitelist over to a free mint NFT. So by the way, I give you the minting power sensei to spoil your community of 2 mints.
Oh, thank you, brother.
To whoever, you know, 2 people. But pretty much what this mint does is it grants you access to Wolf's TA sessions. It grants you pre-sale privileges, right? Like a regular whitelist. Pretty much anything and everything that we're involved in. For example, like some projects that we're involved in that we're making the tech for is Arcane Tools and a few other ones. You guys will be whitelisted with that NFT as well to use. So Arcane is like an NFT trading platform. So you'll be whitelisted to use that platform. So there are real utilities, technical on-chain and off-chain benefits for this whitelist NFTs.
Brother, there's so much here, man. You guys must have just, I mean, no wonder it's been taking a while to do all this stuff. You guys have So walk me just real quick, just so, because I mean I'm taking like pages of notes here. What is actually built already that you guys are launching with, and what is to come? So the Dex is coming, right? The Dex is done. Okay. What about the NFT? Are you guys are going to build an NFT marketplace too, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's stupid easy. You can literally go on youtube.com and say, create an NFT marketplace.
Okay.
Like, I'm not going to do
But it's not going to be a shit one though. You guys are going to build something nice. So is that already finished though?
There's the mechanisms of like listing it and things like that. We still need to be worked.
Okay.
You know, and this is being transparent. We kind of put that on pause because we doubled down on like making sure we doubled down on a secret weapon. But I think I told you about it, but I'm like,
hush.
A lot of people are tugging my leash not to do it. So, and for reasons too, right? Like, you know, speaking of morality, but so a lot of the tech is done. It's just more, a lot of the tech is done. Like we have our DApp done, we have our front end done, we have all our smart contracts are done. They're just being audited again and audited just to make sure like, hey, does this do this? Like we're promising it to do that. Like, does it do it? You know, like we want to make sure everything is bulletproof. So technically, yes, our metaverse too. If you guys go to the link, I don't know, I spaced out the www. But waifuverse.studio, you can go in, walk around, free roam. I think it's actually one of the best metaverses on the web browser. You don't need to download shit.
I'll have to check that out, man. I haven't seen it yet. That's cool.
And under the hood, we have our own blockchain, but blockchain for metaverses, which one of our engineers has been building for years. So we kind of like, I don't want to say acquired, but we partnered.
Yeah, I got you.
But yeah, a lot of the shit is done. We just didn't want to just release it because of everything that just happened. So we're doing slow releases, and we're going to do incremental releases as they come. So, you know, like this month we're doing this, and this. Hey, and then I'm going to make an announcement. And that's when marketing is going to really start kicking off, and people are going to start seeing us on like Google AdSense. So when people watch your video on this YouTube, they're going to be like, hey, invest into Waifu, check it out.
Yeah, because that's right now you guys have not spent any money on marketing so far, right? You guys have just been all word of mouth, right?
Well, yeah, me talking shit, but yeah. And like just picking fights, man. Hey, like, you know, like Kim Kardashian, just picking fights with everybody.
Oh, you're crazy, bro.
That's honestly it. And we actually have a marketing plan already. If I keep forgetting, but I will release that to our revenue partners to take a look at it. We have about $100,000 reserved just for marketing. I made I'm not going to blame myself, but I think all of us in our community made the stupid mistake of buying an Azuki at peak. So I've been trying to recover, but we are planning on, we have about $100,000 reserved just for marketing, for Google AdSense, Facebook Pixels, Facebook retargeting. Like I've worked with several digital agencies, so I have that weapon coming. So you guys are going to probably be annoyed by the amount of like ads out there.
So when do you plan on launching then? Is this something that's going to happen this month, or are we thinking August?
Yeah, I think like ICO, like fully launched with our public sale and everything, DAX, everything. Yeah, like August, early September for sure. Like ICO, everything, but everything pre-sale. I'm just setting, again, like I'm committed to setting up our revenue partners up first, making sure like once we launch, they see their ROI instantly and they're like, holy shit, like that's it. I made my money back. You know, like I really am I'm adamant to make sure that they're set up properly. Like I gave them all free mints and even like multiple wallets that they wanted to whitelist. And I was like, sure, you know, like you guys are the reason why we're fucking here, you know? So
yeah, man, there's so much here. So we're probably gonna launch in August once everything's all done. I mean, I'm just trying to say, is there anything else that you haven't talked about that we can expect when you guys launch? I mean, you're basically building everything I mean, a project usually launches. They're like, "Oh, I'm a node project. Now we're going to build a game. Now we're going to build a metaverse. Now we're going to build it." You guys have built out everything almost already, and then you're going to launch just with all of it done. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that we're not going to have done is the decentralized Twitch platform. That takes a little bit more methodical steps, in the sense that, you know, when people are logging in, you want to make sure that the video doesn't stutter. Like, it's a bunch of like tests, and I am actually bringing a couple of high profile engineers to that, people that make me look like a kindergartner, an engineer, as an engineer. So it's a big initiative. I really need to make that like bulletproof. Besides that, I mean, yeah, like we have our waifu verse that's continuously being built on top of. We're actually expanding the world now, and Azuki holders will be able to go into their secret garden, and we're going to pitch that to Azuki and saying, hey, you guys promised you guys were going to launch a freaking metaverse forever. Yugi Labs too has been promising shit for Bored Apes, and they don't have crap. So we're going to just kind of pitch it to them as like, hey, we can white label this. We can put up any rendering assets you want, and you can have your own metaverse. So that's kind of like what we're doing too. You know, we're white labeling, generating revenue that way. And we actually have a big time person in Dubai that we're working with. We're about to close the deal to build out their metaverse and doing real estate sales via the blockchain. So revenues from that will feed into our protocol, to our company, you know, the NFT trading platform that we're building. And again, like I went to a really good software engineering school where I have a lot of friends, and I, you know, I structured them in the beginning, like, oh shit, how do you do it? Right. So I compartmentalize each department as like a unit, a platoon of engineers and designers and things like that I worked with, you know, throughout my career.
It's nice to see though, man. Like, I mean, you really built out. I mean, the biggest problem with projects launching is, you know, they don't have any outside revenue sources. And I mean, it sounds like you guys have built, you know, several, you know, as far as, you know, you're going to be investing in stocks. You're going to have the waifu verse, you know, the centralized platform. I mean, there's a lot here, man. There's a ton of stuff here. How are you going to put it all together though? Is it going to be like, is your one website going to host all of this stuff, or you're going to have to go off your website? I mean, where's all this stuff going to be housed at?
And I do want to say another alpha or whatever little bullish comment, but the lawyer that did MetalPay, she did all the MTL licenses for them. So we have a tenured crypto lawyer, and she's part of the legal team with Binance.us. So like, we're not fucking daydreaming here.
Spare no expense.
So how it all works, right? Let's just say in a perfect world, everything works. You are an investor, or you're not even an investor. You're just someone that says, man, I love CryptoSensei's thing, and I want you to be one of our streamers, right, on our platform, getting tipped and all this and getting paid via crypto, right? Instead of like this fiat money, you have to like go in the back end and like look at how much we take and how much YouTube takes, et cetera, et cetera. So I come in and I say, I want to buy bits, or I want to buy a waifu token to, you know, to participate in tipping people and all these little extra perks. You go into the centralized exchange, you put your debit, credit card, bank, regular centralized exchange stuff. You got to turn that into like money, and then like Coinbase, right? You purchase a waifu token or waifu tokens. You have that, and then you can either send it off right to your wallet or whatever, because you need an internal wallet because of the centralized part aspect to it. You go then on the same platform, just like Amazon.com, right? You go to Amazon.com/live. That's a different platform. Amazon.com, blah 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 blah, and you like go through different things. Prime Video, right? So unlike other, and this is where I'm going to start shitting on other people. Unlike other fucking projects, I actually know how to scale things out to billions of people around the globe. So I know scalability. I'm more of a back-end engineer than anything. I hate pixel pushing. Like, hey, I know CSS. I'm more of like really complex problems. So I know a lot of people ask us like, how are you going to handle that much traffic? I was like, well, have you gone to Amazon.com? Have you gone to Prime Video? There's a lot of people going on Prime Video, watching hours. They have like different devices, right? That you got your phone, you got your tablet, you got your TV in your living room and your bedrooms and everywhere. Like one household can literally hold 10 devices. That's 10 users right there. Multiply that across the globe, you're looking at billions of people getting on the platform. You have to load balance that and scale that out. So I have the technical capabilities of scaling. So yeah, on the same platform, waifuklan.com or whatever, you go in, you already have this, you can go to Waifu TV, and then you see your streamer there, you can tip them, blah, blah, blah. You do all the interaction. It's all through, the blockchain via MetaMask, Wallet Connect, whatever wallet you have. This is the customer journey, right? Cool. You've done that. You have a little bit of extra Waifu tokens. You click on the tab, a drop-down tab, and it says, my portfolio. You go to your portfolio. You can see how much money you've spent, how many nodes you have, what NFTs you have, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Can you claim now? So you click on the claim tab, and either if you claim is a 30% tax. If you don't claim and you want to use it to upgrade, I forgot to mention that. You can upgrade your nodes too. So if you start at a lower tier for low barrier of entry, you can upgrade your nodes. I will say this, the lower tier nodes are dog shit. Like your ROIs are looking like 5 years. And this is me being upfront too, right?
Keeping it real.
Our best nodes is about 15-18% APR, which is about 3 years APR, which is a little bit more realistic than like a lot of like other 3,000 APRs or whatever. So you can utilize that for that. So stopping here, right? Let's recap. You bought Waifu tokens in a centralized exchange. You tipped your streamer. You want to do more extra investing stuff. You can go to the NFT marketplace and buy someone else's NFT, or you can compound. You see that you have rewards there, so you can tip the streamer too as well. And now the journey of the streamer is you get tipped. It's instantly, it settles in. This is what you were talking about earlier, right? It takes a lot for networks to settle, especially when it goes to direct deposits or things like that, 2 to 3 business days at least. So this is instantly settles into your crypto wallet. You as a streamer, you can do whatever you want with it. You can sell the token. You can as well become part of the protocol and invest and turn your earnings as a streamer into more money, or you completely cash out. That's everything in a nutshell, pretty much.
Walk me through the node tiers though, since you said, the base node is not gonna be very good, but like, what is the base node? Is that 10 Waifu tokens, 100 Waifu tokens, 50 Waifu, Waifu tokens? How many tokens is it to make a base node?
Yeah, let me pull that up. I sent you that. We're actually polishing that up. So the base node is going to be 65. So there's tier 1, 65, tier 2, 70, tier 3, 75, and then tier 4, which is the harem, which is 85. So check this out. So we gamified it. So like every node created up to like every 100 nodes created of any tier 4's price will increase.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
It's just to gamify it. And then in order to upgrade to tier 4, you're going to have to pay the difference of the gap that's being created.
Okay.
I actually have a whole spreadsheet well thought out, and you know what? Fuck it. I'll share it with everybody that's here.
We can't see that we moved to a stage. You can't share your screen though in here.
No. Into the lobby chat.
Oh, I got you. So you're doing it in lobby, or are you doing general chat? Oh, you're doing it in lobby. Okay, I got you.
So yeah, and then you guys can see like everything, and I'll this is very technical, but very mathematically put out there. But as you can see, for every 100, the node price will increase, and then the emissions of it, your ROI actually decrease as the price of the node increases too, right? So those are the node tiers, and essentially what we want to do is promote everybody to get a tier 4, because your NFT perk to boost emissions is only available for tier 4.
Got it. Oh, here, you had to put a freaking thing that, oh, okay, I see what you did here. Hold on, give me a second. I'm trying to pull this up, but you put a space in between docs, so it didn't. Yeah, I got you. Okay, I'm with it now. I'm with it now.
Your Me 6
Yeah, the bot is freaking, I don't know, man. I had to slap that bot around. It doesn't like me very much. All right. So you guys are you guys capping nodes at 20,000?
Yep.
Got it. Okay, I'm with you.
At the worst case scenario, let's just say, everybody mints 20,000 nodes and everybody has a perk NFT to boost emissions, increased it, they can increase it. You're looking at around 647,000 tokens minted per year. So that's the cap. That means per year, like somehow magically, we're not able to mint more than that. And that can run for about 8 years until we hit 5 million. 5 million tokens are only available via nodes. So the other 5 million are dispersed through the exchange, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. 1.5 mil already would be sold pre-sale. And again, I want to give credit where credit is due. This type of tokenomics is similar to Audius and Gala Games and et cetera. Like the only way you were able to receive dollar coins is through a node at the time.
Man,
and
you must have spent like nights and nights and nights and nights and nights just like thinking this thing through, because this is probably one of the most in-depth, like thought out, AMAs I think we've had as far as like what a project is bringing forward. I mean, this is a lot of stuff, man. There's a lot.
Well, the challenge was turn a meme into a blue chip.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. You guys have definitely put. And then, so is Wolf like your tokenomics expert? I mean, or who has done all the emissions on it? Or have you hired somebody, or who's that person?
So, I mean, Wolf's just been sitting there all that. So
Wolf's having a scotch and a cigar right now. He's just hanging out.
He's like, no, I initially brought Wolf and he helped me since he's done IPOs and things like that. We treated that as such, hey, how do I reward some early participants? He's like, dude, you got to give them like a 2 basis points advantage or something like that. I was like, fuck it. Let's give them 5 basis points advantage. So we did 0.5 for seed tokens. We did 0.7 for pre-sale. I think we might have it. Oh, 0.8. Yep, you're right. Sorry. 0.8. So it made sense, like, all right, fuck it. He's the expert. And then I hired an economist too. So not that I got a second opinion, no offense to you, but I wanted to match both worlds together and just see what can come out. Right. And I can say, all right. And then I'm the median. I'm the person in the middle thinking like, okay, can we do this in actual code? Right. So he actually came up with a lot of mechanisms to stabilize and not fuck our protocol up. Like the 10% sell limit per week. You can have an NFT to increase that too, but each person, so if you have 10,000 tokens, you can only sell that week 1,000 at the start of the epoch time in blockchain code time.
We had the tiers that we were making up, and we made those fucking names for each tier that were hilarious. I forgot what they were, but they were hilarious. Each tier for the NFTs. What were they? Actually, when everything was super explicit, they were super funny.
Yeah, no, it was pretty bad. Originally, we started with the inception of like wanting to become a campsite, but Codebree came in when I was doing the Node Nation AMA, and she's like, "This is great, man, but you're selling yourself short." And I was like, "Fuck, okay." And we went down this journey of just picking shit up and like cleaning it up.
Big shout out to Codebree. Thank you so much. Damn, man, is there anything that we've left out? I mean, there's you got the verse, you got the stocks, you've done the emissions, you got the platform, you got the nodes, you got the decks. Is there anything else?
Like KYC, we're KYC through you guys too.
Yeah.
We're KYC we're KYC'd, and we're, you know, as soon as the contracts are, because I think that's what we wanted to do, to see how Certic reviews it or whatever.
Yeah.
Seed and code reviewed by Cryptonairz. We're KYC'd and audited by Certic. We're KYC'd through the House of Obsidian. They haven't launched it. I know there's going to be some dickhead in here talking about like, I don't see you there. But we've held back because we don't want to like blow it up, and then like, you know, we're still cleaning up house at our Discord.
Yeah.
So as soon as that's cleaned up, and as soon as we start launching things, we're gonna hit marketing very hard. And I think so far people are kind of like, oh, who are they? It's, you know, anime. I mean, the word's there, right? The word is out there. People are like, okay, what's happening? And then once we start hitting the ground up and running, FOMO's gonna hit hard. But that's why the price stabilization is there. So people don't feel like, well, I missed the boat. It's at $10 now.
What is the launch price then? I guess it would be my last question.
For the token?
Yeah.
For the token?
Yeah, for the token. When you guys
$1.
$1. Got it.
Yeah.
I mean, Ghost, you've pretty much answered all my questions, brother. Is there anything else that maybe you left out, or anything else you'd like to add?
Man, I might have left some shit out, but I mean, you know, our vision is to bring, like, our mission and our vision is to honestly bring a valuable product and a valuable, like, you know, protocol or whatever you want to call it, company, project, whatever it is, to the space, man. I feel like I mean, I told you today, right? And, you know, you educated me, and I'm like, you know what? I stand corrected for the bullshit with XRP. I hate Jeb McCaleb, like, because of, back then it was just the Wild West. People talk about rugging now. Like back then it was like, this is like the Wild West. And like, I really want to bring something valuable to the space. I want to merge both worlds together. And I've told you this too, you know, like I want to bring the NFT industry and the DeFi industry together. And that's why we're kind of like seeing how we can merge that together. And I think with our partnerships, like we just haven't announced them yet. A lot of them just alpha in our Discord has been, you know, big influencers, man. Like, I mean, you yourself, we got big NFT influencers, big people like backing us up because they see that we're genuine about it. And like, we're realistic too, right? I'm not just going to sit here and bullshit you about what we can and cannot do. But yeah.
No, man, you guys have definitely taken the time. It's going to be very interesting once you guys launch to see how all this stuff collides and how all of it works together, man. But bro, I really appreciate your time today. You want to see if there's any questions from the audience?
For sure.
Guys, if there's any questions about what we just went over, please raise your hand. We'll give it another minute or two if anyone has any questions. I mean, there's a lot here to unpack, so anybody at all.
We usually get this. Everybody's dead silent.
You guys went so in depth with everything. I think has any questions anymore.
That happens sometimes, man. But yeah, you went over pretty much everything, and it's good to see, man. Like, it's not just, you didn't just build some basic ass tier project, right? You actually put a lot of thought into it, and you put together several different things into one package, and it's going to be very interesting to see how everything works together and how all this goes, man. I'm actually very intrigued to see what happens here. So, man, yeah, we got no questions. So, is there anything you want to say in closing, Gosu or the Wolf?
I would want to say that, you know, I'm leaving 30 positions reserved. There are 3 NFT, revenue partner NFTs left. And we do have a free mint for whitelisters, but it's 0.25 now to get whitelisted. You can, and it has all the perks listed on OpenSea. And yeah, so if you guys are interested in participating, hit me up. You guys, anybody from the audience want to get airdropped free to one free whitelist NFT. Yep, that's pretty much it.
All right, brother. The Wolf. You've been sitting there quiet, man. You got anything to say before we end today?
Appreciate the time, everybody, and good night.
All right, man. For everyone watching at home, if you guys are interested, reach out to Gosu directly if you guys want to take advantage. He did say there's 3 of the partner places left. So, you know, if you want to be a part of this, hit him up and, you know, let's see what happens, brother. But hey, I wish you all the success in the world, my friend. And man, you sure built a lot of stuff here. So, you know, big shout out to your team too, who's been working really hard behind the scenes. And, you know, congratulations on what you've been putting together. And I wish you all the luck in the world, my friend.
No, and thank you. And I did want to mention that, you know, I still have not forgotten. I did leave something out. I think back in March, you helped me out with a couple of people from Ukraine that we extracted. We do have a strategic partnership. This is outside of crypto, but what these guys do, I work with these guys closely. If you guys want to talk about real training, real charity, this is what you kind of helped out early on. CryptoSensei, the taskcollective.com. I'm personally working with these people as a charity where we go out to remote places. We do humanitarian missions, rescue people, and Sensei did sponsor that. So one of the missions that we went out.
It's my pleasure to help, man. Absolutely.
So again, as promised in the beginning, you're actually one of the first ones to hold it. So I don't care what they say about you, man. I like you. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, man, not everyone can like me, but someone needed help, man, and it was my honor to help, and I'm just glad I could do anything to help that person, and you know, as long as they're safe at the end of the day, that's all I care about. Yeah. So it was my honor.
Part of our mission too, we are working with some charitable events, trying to see how we can, you know, and then let's just be real, how we can get that as a tax write-off when we do donate to these missions and stuff like that. I myself, and I'll say this, it's probably going to sound very crazy, but the only way for me to quote unquote rug the project is if I die or go to prison. So, and
let's hope neither of those happen, bro.
I do put myself at a lot of risk sometimes doing some missions and stuff like that. And my community knows that I'm adamant about these initiatives. So yeah, that's something that on the side, charity work, you know, I'm a part of it. Prior military background experience and a couple of us veterans. We are veteran owned and veteran operated too. We do offer for veterans automatic whitelist. So that means if you're a veteran out there, you let me know and I'll airdrop you an NFT. 2 of them, matter of fact, and you can sell one to earn your money and do whatever. So yeah.
Respect, man. All right, Ghost. Well, hey, man, I really appreciate your time tonight. Thank you for educating us. And, you know, once we get a little bit closer to launch, man, I want to probably have you back and, you know, we'll just go through it. We'll go through it. We won't go through all of it one more time, but just to kind of get an update before you launch and see where we go, man. All right?
Awesome, man. Thank you for being a supporter since day one.
Hey, man.
Really appreciate it.
It's my honor, man. Thank you so much.
Later, guys.
All right, man.
Later.